Hey guys, welcome to the E-Launch where Evolve Women help to evolve women. I am Alana, Alleyne, your make money, manage money, look good, feel good coach. And today we are launching and sipping and chatting with the one and only entrepreneur extraordinaire, Miss Tequila J. Tequila, are you ready for this?
Oh yes, I'm ready.
Alright, so we're at a sip and chat, but we can't sip and chat without a little bit of wine. So we have our drink here. Yes! And if you want your drink to be featured on the E-Launch, then comment below and we will definitely feature your drink on our show. So Tequila, I have been following Tequila for years now and she really inspires me. I've been following her entrepreneurial journey and she has really pushed me, and I show a lot of young women to do more and to be more. So my first question today is, who is Tequila J?
Oh wow. So Tequila, so guys, my name is Tequila Joseph Hollingswood. Let's just start off there. Tequila is just a young, God-fearing individual. I'm into the business firstly of encouraging others. I think that's my number one business, and then obviously I'm a makeup artist. I have an NGO called the RA20 Project. I have an apparel line, and then I have a brand called Tequila Limited. Right, so you all go to tequilalimited.com and check us out. But that's just a small snippet of who Tequila really is.
Right, a small snippet, yeah. And we're gonna get the deets as we go into our interview today. So what I wanted to find out is, you told us a little bit about what you're doing right now, but what was your journey? What was it like growing up as Tequila?
Well, that's a really interesting question. So growing up as Tequila, I was just like a regular child, or maybe more so of a not regular child, because growing up I just always thought like, it was like I grew up in this small family with big dreams. Like I always knew that God was going to do something so good in my life. I would go to school and our city girls, and because we wasn't really, part of the crew growing up, so like, they would have the girls in school with nice bags and nice shoes. We just had like the basic stuff that we need, but I would always be like, I just know that God will do something really good in my life, so I would allow that to push me and to take me through, even though I knew, or even though I really didn't see that happening. I just always kept that thing back in my mind. And what actually pushed me to start working, because I started to work from the age of 12 years old.
Wow.
Was that 12 years old I started to work. No joke, I started to work from the age of 12 years old, and it was because of me like going to school and I'm seeing children and they have this and they have that. So my mom, she worked like 3 jobs just to take care of us, and I knew that, okay, and we were close in age. So for me to get what I actually needed, I felt like I needed to work. So I asked my mom if I could have worked, and she was like, okay, no problem, and I started to work from 12. So if I'm working from 12 years old, obviously I wasn't working with 12 years old, with 12-year-old children. I was working with bigger people, right, adults. So that kind of brewed me into, building a good work ethic and starting my business. So in my mind, I always knew that I had to work. I was always like, I want to be on time, I want to work good, like I just always wanted to be good at stuff, so that kind of helped me.
Well, I am just so amazed that even from 12 years old you had that hustle mentality, like I'm gonna get it no matter what. And it's, I love the fact that you said God put something inside of you that was big, and even though you didn't know what it was, you just knew that you were gonna do great things. So at what point did makeup come into play?
So well, makeup came into play. So growing up, again, I thought that I wasn't good at anything. So my sisters, they're brilliant. My sisters and my brothers, they are geniuses. But for me, I was never really good at schoolwork. So I was good at like art and coloring and stuff. But nobody realized that I was good at art and coloring, and I would dress up my dolls and stuff. Nobody realized that, because back then it's better for you to be, like a lawyer or a doctor, or go to university, or these stuff like that. So for me, that never really worked out. And then, I used to party a lot, and partying, I want to do my face, I want to look good. So then I decided, opportunity came around for me to do a makeup course, and I did it. And I remember praying before I actually found makeup. God, if I could just be good at one thing, because I was not really, I could always sing a little bit, do this a little bit, do that a little bit, but I was never really good at something. And I remember saying, God, if I could just be good at one thing, please, just one thing. And I did the makeup course, and people started to ask me to teach them to do their face and to teach them to do their eyebrows, and it went from there. So it wasn't like I chose makeup. I would always say it chose me.
Makeup chose you,
Makeup
right?
chose me because I didn't like, and I wasn't even one of those girls in school who would bring their parents' eyeliner and lipsticks to school. I never did those sorts of stuff. It was just something I picked up. And and I just ran with it. But I was always artsy, mixing colors and doing art and craft in school. I was always good at that.
Wow. So how long have you been in the industry?
I think it could be like around 7.5 years now. Yeah.
7.5, and that puts you at what age? I know a woman doesn't like to reveal.
I mean, I'm 25 years old now, and I think I did my makeup course when I was like 17 or 18, and I just worked my way up there. I left my job. So I was working and doing it for a while, then I left my job and I never returned back to the corporate world after that.
Do you regret leaving the corporate world?
I mean, what I was studying I really loved, which was health and safety, and I still love health and safety. So if anybody out there wants to give me a health and safety job just part-time because I love it, that's totally fine. But I have a diploma in health and safety that I never used. So me doing the health and safety actually opened the door for me to do the makeup professionally, because I was going to school and I needed money. So basically working and going to school was tough. So then I said, let me just finish off this school thing. I think I went to school just to kind of please my mom a little bit. So then I just say, I want to finish off this school thing. And then I say, God, if I could just get a client a week, one client, right, I would be able to travel to school. So that's why I was doing the makeup, just to get money to finish the school that I was doing. And instead of one client, it was 3, 4, 5.
Wow, so even then though, it seems as if you were very determined. You were determined, and look at this, your determination to finish your health and safety course.
Yeah.
The fact that you needed to do makeup to pay those bills is what opened up this avenue for you. And the makeup industry, is extremely competitive, right? And it's like I'm going on Instagram and it's like everybody and their tanty wants to be a makeup artist, right? So there's so much noise in the makeup industry, but for some reason you would have withstand the test of time. What's your secret sauce? What gave you that competitive advantage?
Well, I mean, definitely it's been a lot of ups and downs, because sometimes I do feel like, oh my gosh, it's so competitive, I can't do it. But for me, my source is God. God is my source. And I know, just thinking about my story, I know that God placed me here. Like, I know that it wasn't something that I just woke up and say, I just want to do this. So I know once it is God puts you somewhere, He will equip you for that journey. So I never really relied on wanting to be better than this one, I wanted to be better. I just know that God put me here for a reason, and I always try to focus on the fact that God placed me here. Let me just do what I have to do. And even in that time, because sometimes it gets so competitive that I am discouraged. Like, I'm like, God, I just don't even want to do this anymore. But then I think it was earlier in January, I was getting that feeling again, like I just don't want to do it anymore. And then what I kept telling myself, I even put it on my vision board, is that my advantage is that there's only one me.
I love that. Only one you.
One me. And that's my advantage.
Yeah, can anybody else be like Tequila?
Nobody else can.
Nobody else cannot.
Else can.
Right? Nobody could bring to the table what
Correct.
you could bring to the table. And I feel as women, we really need to understand that there's only one me, and I am unique. Because I feel as if with social media and again all of the clutter, we're just watching a lot of things that everybody is doing, and you just start feeling very inadequate, like you're not enough, or you have to do this and you do that, and then you get lost in the middle of it because you're trying to do what somebody else is trying to do and not what God has called you to do. So I just, I'm speaking to you and you're speaking to me, and I know you're speaking to our viewers out there, So Tequila, what really amazes me about you is that even though you started as a makeup artist, I dare not define you by that title, for the mere fact that for the 7.5 years that you would have been in this business, you've grown tremendously, which is something that I cannot say for a lot of other makeup artists that I am familiar with. So I don't even feel like it's Tequila Joseph makeup artist. I think it's Tequila the brand.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Right, so tell us about the brand. How would your business have scaled over the years? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Right, so even before I started to do makeup, you guys knew that I mentioned that I know that God was going to do something great in my life. So even when I began to do makeup, I know in my heart, people would have been like, oh my gosh, Tequila, you're so good, you're so good. And then I would respond and say, but I know that I wasn't called to do this alone. Like, I knew that God had more. I always knew that this was just part of the plan. So then I would have looked at makeup like just like a stepping stone to carry me where it is God really wanted me to be. So it was easy to kind of dive into the rest of stuff that I'm doing now, right? So as I said, I started off by doing people eyebrows. So I actually started teaching makeup before I actually went into doing it fully. So people asked me to teach them to do their eyebrows first before I actually did it. So people would come and they would pay a little money either for me to do their eyebrows or for me to teach them. So I started off on Charlotte Street upstairs Eastside Plaza on a little mirror, just teaching women how to do their makeup, $150 a session, and I taught them how to do their makeup. And it went from me teaching them to do their makeup to people coming to do their makeup. You know, and I just took the leap of faith and I got my own studio in Woodbrook. So I went from Charlotte Street to Woodbrook, right? And just imagine going from a rent of $150 to $3,000 a month. I was like, God, I just don't even know. But you know what? I just took the leap of, that was a huge leap of faith, guys, right? Just going from $150 to $3,000 a month. So then and after that, I just worked my way up. I just worked, and I always had the joy of teaching. I really love to teach because I love how people would come in not knowing anything, and by the Friday they go on, they make friends, you know. And then I love doing clients because I love the conversations and how I would encourage them and they would encourage me. So then I went from that to that, and yeah, I just continued to grow and scale from there. And then after a while, I kind of got tired of doing the same thing over and over again. And when I got tired of doing the same thing over and over again, I was actually considering stopping makeup. I was like, oh my gosh, there must be more. There must be more for me to do. And then fast forward to that, COVID-19 hits. This is just a long story short.
Okay, so wait. I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay,
I'm not cutting you short.
Go ahead.
COVID-19, crisis or opportunity?
Opportunity.
I love it. No. You need to touch my glass. Opportunity. Yes. Tell us a little bit about some of the doors COVID-19 would have opened and closed for you.
So guys, you all know that I opened a salon called the Beauty Hub, and I had the Beauty Hub for like about 2 years. I did the Beauty Hub for, and it was a great experience. I learned a lot. When it says I closed the Beauty Hub, I call it a failure. But then I was like, no, because I learned so much lessons that if I did not open the Beauty Hub, I would have never learned. So I closed Beauty Hub in June of 2020 during COVID-19. And guys, 2020 was like one of the greatest years of my life, and that was like an entire year of a pandemic, and it was so amazing and transformative for me. You understand what I'm saying? So before COVID-19, I was just tired of just doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm a creative, so we can't do the same thing over and over again. So we have to continue to do different stuff. So I'm just tired of getting up every morning and doing the same thing, right? So COVID-19 came, and I had to close my salon. But guys, it was a sad time. It was a hard time, but it was a good time at the same time because my page got hacked. And that's my page I had for like years of makeup and work, you know. So that was gone. The salon was gone. I was like, what is going on with me? Am I going crazy? But at that same time, God was built in purpose within me. I started my YouTube channel. I started encouraging people. I started, really ministering to people through my YouTube channel. And then it so happened that I got back my Instagram page and I was able to build Tequila Limited.
Nice.
But I had Tequila Limited in my heart years ago, but I always thought that like it was so vain to name a business after yourself. Like I didn't want to be the center of attention. Like I didn't want it to be me, and I would just hide the name, But I would see, so even the Tequila Limited logo, I saw it long ago with the colors at the bottom. I saw it on a billboard somewhere, and I kept seeing it, and I would drive through different places, and I would keep getting this flash of this thing, I would keep getting this flash of the exact font, how the colors proportion, each color where it is. I would see all of that, and for years I would just put it in the back of my mind, thinking that when I actually reach somewhere, then I would do it. That was the thing I was supposed to do when I reach. So then when I lost my page for like a month, God really dealt with me during that time, and I started to work on a business plan for years to come, which was Tequila Limited. And I got back my page, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to jump out and I'm just going to do it. Then that was something amazing that happened during COVID-19, and then I birthed my NGO, the RE20 project. So if you guys know, I'm in love with children. I love kids, guys. Come on, since I'm a child and I'm working with people's children, and I'm carrying them to church, and I'm carrying them here, and I'm carrying them everywhere. So I love children, but guys, I have in my journal that I wrote in March where it says, I know that God told me I wanted you to do work with the kids, and I wrote it down. And it so happened in September of that year, the RE28 project was birthed, guys. And basically, it was birthed by, I heard that the Prime Minister said that the children wasn't going to be able to go back to school, and I just thought about children home hungry. I said, oh, I'm children hungry, I know food. I mean, people just live off a box lunch.
Yes.
Some children, they need the breakfast and they need the box lunch. So I just rounded up a team, and we started we say, guys, we gotta do something, and we just started the RE28 project.
Wow.
And it's the best thing it's the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my entire life. Like more than makeup any day.
But let me tell you something, what you don't realize, particularly with volunteerism, you find yourself in volunteerism, skills that you didn't think that you had, feelings that you didn't think that you had. You find it in that space of giving selflessly to others. And I always encourage my evolved women to move forward and give a little of yourself, and it will come back to you. Now I didn't want to interrupt you because I'm here, I'm just taking in your story, but you touched on some things that I just wanted to bring to the fore. You visualized where you would be right now, you manifested all of that where you are at. You went as far as putting your vision, right, writing it out, putting it on a vision board, you're journaling. And it's so important when you have a plan, right? Even if it might seem hard, difficult, impossible, you may not know the answers. You don't have to have all the answers, but it's so important to think that you are worthy, and it's so important to start, because you said that this is something that you thought you would have done when you reach, but how do you reach?
I was like, okay, so when I'm successful, like honestly, Tequila Limited was a dream brand, so I said, when I'm successful, I throw that out into the air, but I guess my perception of success was off back then. So now that I know that success is me having dreams and visions and seeing them coming to pass, that is successful.
Lovely.
Success is not like only money in the bank, but it's about those goals and those dreams and those aspirations that you put down, that vision that you wrote and you made it clear. When you hit that, that's success.
You're speaking to me. And oh my gosh, I know I might sound like a broken record, but your definition of success is totally different than how I would define it and how someone else would define it. And it's so important for each person to sit and decide, okay, what does success look like to me? What is my dream life? Because again, we are trying to mirror and copy persons who are chasing their dream, not yours, right? So what they are doing and you're trying to do it, you're not going to get there.
And then for us, we are, and then when we're looking at social media, we're seeing the end result. So everybody is obsessed about how things will look in the end. But I am obsessed about the process. With the hard days that you push through, that's so successful. For you to push through hard days and just continue to go, to keep going.
Well, guys, you heard it from Tequila. Success is progress, and I think I need to write that, and I need to quote you on that.
Definitely.
I'm definitely going to quote you on that. Success is progress. Now, what I want to find out is, on those days when you don't feel like getting out of bed, what do you say to yourself?
Well, guys, if you see my room, it's plastered with encouragement, with Bible verses. But even on days when the things on the wall don't work, what I do is, what you do in your downtime when you're not working is so important. So you have to be able to build consistency, whereas you're consistent with reading inspirational stuff. So on a day that I don't feel to get up, I know that Sidney Trim saying this book, you just have to push through the bad days. I know that part of Tyler Perry's story was he continued to dig, and part of my digging is getting off this bed, because if I don't get off this bed today, then I will go into tomorrow, and it will, you know, kind of bother the rest of days. It will probably bother the entire week. You understand? So what I do on my off days or on my downtime helps me a lot when I have a bad day. Meaning I read books, I read the word of God, I see, you know, I really go in there and see what it says and how it is. It encourages me to go on, and then what it says about me as an individual, because sometimes, you know, when you're struggling with your identity, it could mess with your productivity, believe it or not, because it's like you don't even know who you are, so then what are you up to do?
Oh my God.
You understand? It's like, well,
yeah, that was powerful
you know?
in itself. So what I want to find out is, what aside from, you know, finding that source, whatever you believe him or it to be, what other tips and tricks can you give, or would you recommend to entrepreneurs to keep them on path or aligned with their goals? So
it's always about trying to be, for me, I have a thing about being the best. So I want to be the best, so I will continue to watch videos. Up to this day, I would watch videos just to get ideas and encouragement, just to spark me a little bit. You know, I would judge myself, not to judge others, but, you know, say, Tequila, you could really work on this a little bit, you could really work on that a little bit. But it's about getting through today and being better than you was yesterday. So, like, I don't have a lot of tips and tricks that I do, but it's really about, because all you have is all you need. When it is your call to do something, all you have is all you need. It's about getting through that day and using what you have.
I love that, and I keep telling my girls, God has given you everything that you need to carry out your assignment. And in my opinion, the moment you start moving in that purpose, that direction that God wants you to go in, more and more gifts will release, more and more resources will come into play to help you to carry out that assignment. So it's so important to get started and to move in the direction for which you are called. Now, I love the fact that, and you know what, I'm just going to bring it up. You speak so much about your spirituality and your religion. Were you always so grounded in God?
Well, you know, I grew up in a Christian home, you know, so I grew up in a Christian home, and it was always, but for me, I always had even as a child, I remember sticking a poster all over my wall. God is good, this, that. I was always kind of fascinated by God and by just knowing that there was something more. You know, so I was always like that, and growing up, I didn't have that good relationship with my father, or, you know, me and my mother, our relationship kind of struggled for a while, so I had to hold on to something, and I held on to God. So I would say, God, I know you're my daddy, you know. So it don't even really matter, because I know you. So just that whole thing of telling yourself that God is my daddy, God is the daddy, it's like, you know, that continued to really pull me through. So God was always a big part, even though at some stages of my life I really struggled and never stopped, you know, working on that relationship with God. So he's a big part of why I do everything and how I do everything. I know Tequila cannot do it on her own. I don't have that strength. Guys, some of my days are really hard. I have to drag through some of the days, but all I tell myself is keep on going. Keep on going. Keep on going. That's all I say. Keep on digging. Keep on digging.
Yes. And amazingly, that goal that you set out, it's really going to be broken down into what you do every single day.
Exactly.
Every day counts.
Every day.
You know, we sit down and we procrastinate and we're like, why isn't this happening?
Yeah.
Why is that not happening? And again, you were saying people just see the end results, but you really need to focus on the work that you're putting in.
Yes.
Be honest with yourself. Are you really putting in the work to get the results? And you know, it's not even about dragging yourself out of bed. I think it's the discipline to know that you have to complete this task. And if I don't complete this task, then it's going to affect my end game.
Correct.
And just pushing through, like you said, keep digging, keep pushing.
Digging, keep pushing, guys. That is what I tell myself, Tequila, just keep digging. Oh my God, just go.
So you say your days are kind of hard sometimes. So tell me, what is a typical day like for Tequila Joseph?
Well, I mean, guys, my days are not so. I'm a planner, right? So I'm a planner. I like to have everything organized. So my day would go like this. I'd wake up in the morning. Actually, I really start my day Sunday night. So the night before, I have to get my devotion in, guys. That just settles me. That just, brings me back full circle. So I get my devotion in every night. And then in the morning, I would wake up. And I would usually have set Monday, this needs to be done. Tuesday, that needs to be done. Wednesday, that needs to be done. So usually I'll do it Monday. Like Monday's my rest day. Monday's my fast day. So I'll organize everything that needs to happen from Monday to Sunday. The Monday before, right? Or the Sunday before. So I would usually see what has to happen on the list, and I know if I could sleep late today, if I could wake up late today, if it is I need to move early today, and I would try to at least do 3 things on that list for the day.
Oh wow.
And then I will go and I'll get those 3 things done. Guys, sometimes this is really nice to get the 3 things done, but I'll get the 3 things done, and I'll just try to work on each day doing 3 things. Each day doing 3 things, And I have like 4 social media pages, so that in itself is a lot of work. But I try to really plan and do, because my fear is just to procrastinate away my life and then wake up at 45 and saw that I did nothing.
Oh my gosh, I don't think anybody wants that for themselves. We are sipping, chatting, lounging with Miss Tequila Joseph, and she was just giving us a rundown of what a typical day like is for her and how organized. Like you just got really granular as to how your week is going to be. So what tools do you use? Probably phone apps, etc.
So like for me, I would use notes. I would use notes, and then I have my alarm. So the alarm, guys, this is so kind of creepy what I do, but it works so much. So I have my alarm, and at 11 o'clock, an alarm will go off. Keep going, push. At 2 o'clock, alarm will go off. You're probably having a hard day, but keep going, push. At 3 o'clock, be thankful for this. So that helps me with every part of the day, because sometimes I reach close to the bank and I say, nah boy, but I turn around, yes, I just a few minutes ago, and then the alarm will come off. Keep going, Tequila.
Wow, listen,
so that is one tool that I really use, guys.
Listen, I'm literally I'm gonna steal that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Just by the way, because you're your own cheerleader.
Yeah.
There's nobody telling you keep going, push. You are pushing yourself up, and I totally love that. So let's talk about money.
Yeah.
Right. What are some mistakes you think you would have made with money?
Oh, definitely, guys. I have made a couple of mistakes with money. So I think just growing up, not with plenty money, that when I started to make money, my thing was to just buy whatever I wanted. Like I would just go and eat at Ruby Tuesday every day or every week. I would go to Bang Bang every week. I would shop every day. Guys. And I think like even now I'm trying to save more, because I'm a giver, I have the Area 20 project. So when it is your bonus stuff, and I love to give. So I would have gave to people, tell them probably take advantage of it. I would just buy nice things to people, So what I do now, but guys, I'm always on top of my bills. I just think I could save a little more, because I'm like, if I save all this money, something gonna happen anyway and take all the money. So I might as well, that's how I used to think. Guys, I'm being really honest. So I might as well just do some of the stuff that I want and save some. You know what I mean? And I don't ever save without goal, or save with it's like I'm saving to do this. So because when you save to do stuff, you save more. When you just save for saving's sake, it's like, oh well, maybe I'll save next week. So always put a goal towards why you're saving. Every month I do the same thing. I can show you guys my books from years ago. I have the 9th to the 13th. This phone bill needs to pay. That needs to pay. That. Because when you write it out and clear it out in your head, I don't know, it's like God, that whole thing in Habakkuk 2 to write the vision, make it clear. That doesn't mean for your dreams, so it means for your bills. So when you set them up, it's like everything, it's like the money coming and all, because I don't know if the money know that it needs to go somewhere. But once I write it out and I started saying, okay, this first week, these 4 bills need to be paid, it's just ticking off. The second week.
So am I hearing that you need to have a plan for your money?
Definitely. You need to have a plan for your money, and just plan it out. Plan it out. Even if you don't have it, write it out. I need $1,000 to do that week. I need I need to save this. I need to tie this, and that is so important where money is concerned. Because if you don't do that, when you have money, it will just blow away. Because now you're like, okay, I have this money. Okay, so what I have to do this again? No, you pull out your book. You know that. You have stuff to do with it.
I love that. So this is what you learned along the way.
Yeah.
I would like to believe, because I mean,
yeah.
I think as you get older, you become more responsible, and then you realize that, okay, maybe I don't need to eat Ruby Tuesday every day. Or you buy this banging pair of earrings and you're like, I don't really like this earring anymore. Why did I buy? So I guess as you get older and you get more responsibility, you start realizing some of the mistakes that you make with money. And one of the things that we want to teach our women or evolve women is how to effectively manage their money, because it doesn't matter for me. I don't care how many goals you have and how you write or what vision board you put it on. If you don't attach a dollar sign to that, then it really won't get activated to some extent, because everything that we do involves money. So as much as we're trying to plan the different aspects of our life, we also need to have a plan for the money for all the things that we are trying to accomplish. Yeah?
That's so true.
And again, so important, because girls will legit spend thousands of dollars to get the hair done. And the things that you really need to focus on, it is not getting done.
But I feel like our generation needs to know that things are not going anywhere. And I took a while to learn that, because guys, I love nice things. But then I realized it's just not really making any sense buying all these. So things are not going to go anywhere. Things, you see these earrings? They're always going to be on sale. Different colors, different patterns, different. These shoes, these things, guys, are not going to go anywhere. Your time and your season will come for you to attain these things, because it makes no sense to just be looking good and feeling good and then you're not progressive. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to take your money and invest in yourself. Do a course. You understand?
Yes.
Buy equipment.
Yes.
You understand? Invest in yourself. Yeah. So for me, with money, it's all about balance, because then you can't glorify it too much. For me, I don't treat money like it's my most prized possession. That's just me. Some people may do that. Some people love money drive. Money do not drive me, because then when money stop running, then you would have a low drive.
Yes.
So then money cannot drive me. You understand? So I have to go to higher self to be driven by. So money is just part of the equation for me, but it's not the the equation. Like the big goal is just to get money and because it has celebrities with money and it's sad.
Yeah,
some of them, they're taking drugs and they're rich. You know what I mean? So money can be a driving force. It's just a necessity. And what I even have on my vision board is that money would run after me. I would never run after it. You understand? That is something that has to come behind me regardless.
But I think that once you align with your purpose, and you're really passionate about what you do, and you're doing it well, doing your best, putting out a good product, right? That in itself will sell. the money
so
will come.
Yeah.
Because you see persons cutting corners to make money, but they might get it temporarily, but it's not something that you'll be able to sustain. So it's always so important. And I'm talking to you, and like I said, I'm not even talking to Tequila Joseph, I'm talking to Tequila the brand, right? Because you really are building a brand, and there's just so many things that you have to put in place to ensure that you reach that goal that you thought you couldn't get there. But honey, like I said, you're here. But what did you have to give up to be where you're at right now? What sacrifices you had to make?
I felt like at the beginning of my career doing makeup, I sacrificed family, my family time. I would not go to family events at all. I could have one client. I say, guys, I have a client, I'm not going to be there. So I sacrificed so much of my family time, and I sacrificed so much of my youth too, because I'm still 25. So 19, 20, I'm working when normal 19-year-old and 20-year-olds home, just living up their life, the parents taking care of them. So part of me always wants to go back to being a child, just to live it and not to have to work so much, so I kind of had to sacrifice part of my I would say teenagehood to be where I am today, and that's something that I seldom, I sometimes kind of feel bad about missing out, and and I felt like I should have just lived more and enjoy family and time and friends more instead of just working so much. Because now I realize that, yes, I was making the money, but the money, you do stuff with the money, and then the stuff that really matters, the memories and the pictures and stuff, you don't have any of that.
And that is so important, just finding that balance. It's something that I myself would have suffered the same thing. Missing out on family, friends, time with your family and friends, and again, I feel as if sometimes you feel like you have something to prove. You have to put in this time, I have to do this. So as much as you want to be the best, and you said it a while ago, I don't want to be 45. Yes, I want to be 45 and would have accomplished all the things that I want to accomplish, but at what cost? I still want to have those moments that you just cannot put a dollar value on. So if it is that you could go back to your 18-year-old self, what would you say to yourself then? What would you say to Tequila 18 years?
I would say, what? I don't think that would make sense. I was like, Tequila is not serious to live. Just save some money, live, and just enjoy every day. I spend teenagers now, I know they're spending so much time. When I get to 25, when I get to 30, when I get to just be 18, just be 19, just be 20, just take every day and just live it instead of constantly focusing. It's only God know what tomorrow holds. Your job is to deal with today, so just live up and just enjoy that being 18. Just enjoy your mother calling on your phone. I remember when my mother stopped calling me, I was like, Mommy, why you didn't call me today? So just enjoy the moment that you're at. That's so important to do.
Okay, and definitely living in the moment is so important. I think that was one of the best advice that somebody would have given me a few months ago, in terms of, yes, you want to do all of these things, but being present, that's the way. Be present.
Yes, correct.
Be present.
You have to be present.
Because it's like I'm gonna be here and I'm talking to you, and instead of enjoying that moment with you, I'm thinking, I have to pay this bill, I have to do that, I have to do that at 5 or 6. And even though we're here together, I am totally missing the experience because I am not present. So it's so important to just be present in this moment, in this space. Just enjoy the company that you're around, because for me, 2020, yes, it had its ups and downs, but I felt like I went to way too many funerals last year. And it was persons who were younger than me, and I just remember standing at the graveside and thinking, wow, you didn't even get to do half the things that you wanted to do. So we rush and we want to do so many things, but it's so important to just take the moment as it is, because really and truly all we have is now. Let's just be present. You're with your family, be present. You're going to get the work done, you're going to meet the deadlines, but just treasure the stuff that are intangible.
I totally agree. Being present, and I had to learn that only recently. Just be present in each day. That's good advice. Sound.
Alright, so tell me, for the young ladies, the female entrepreneurs, the career-driven women, COVID-19 would have been hard. You know it would have been hard. For those persons who are feeling burnt out, who are stressed, who are probably demotivated, businesses not going as it should, what would you say to them? How would you encourage them?
I would say to them, as I've been saying for this entire interview, you need to keep going, and don't looking at other people will only suffocate you from paying attention to yourself. You know what I mean? Because looking at these other people are contaminating the way you see yourself and what you are doing. So focus on you, right? Remember that you're in the process of getting to know you, and continue to work on yourself. Remember to pray, guys. Keep God center and continue to work on yourself. Keep going at it every single day. It's a process. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Every celebrity has a story. Every person who you're looking at, like, wow, right, has a story. And remember that you're building your story, and every day will not be perfect. Because imagine you go and you tell somebody, oh my gosh, but I had a perfect story. How is that going to help them? So we have to remember that sometimes some of the things that we go through is not just for us, but it's to help and encourage somebody else also. So you have to continue going and push through the hard days. Remember the goal. Always put your goal out there. Make it clear. You understand what I mean? But push through. Success is progress.
Amen. Success is progress. Lastly, I think the question that I wanted to ask you at the start, I'm going to ask you now. How do you want to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as somebody who encouraged others to be the best version of themselves, and I just really want to be remembered as a humble, encouraging person, and then I just let the world tell the rest. I just want them to remember that I was encouraging. I really love to encourage people to be their best selves, and I really love to just allow people to know that life is what you make it, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. So if we wanted to get access to your products and your services, how can we get in touch with Tequila Limited?
So you guys could go to tequilalimited.com. So we have a website called tequilalimited.com. That's on the net. Then we have Instagram, Tequila Limited on Instagram, and then we have the different sections. So it's like a parent company with different sections. So we have Tequila makeup and we have Tequila apparel. So you can go follow Tequila Limited, and it will gear you to the rest of areas that you have to check out. Yeah.
That's it, guys. You have been a part of the very first episode of the E-Launch, where Evolve Women help to evolve women. And I am your host, Miss Alana, the Make Money Management and Look Good, Feel Good coach. And I am here with Miss
Tequila J.
Tune in next time, guys. We're going to have so many more entrepreneurs, so many more stories to tell. We just want to encourage you. We want to help you in your evolution. Because remember, we are learning, growing, and evolving.